It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us on what is proving to be a very inspiring day today. I think for many the word homeless translates as hopeless. And the UTurn organization, a rehabilitation and skills development program for people who are homeless, is setting out to change that perception and achieving it with the hashtag Not Hopeless campaign. Today, the 10th of October, is commemorated as World Homeless Day, believe it or not. And so to shine a light on the importance of restoring the dignity of the people who are living probably their toughest days in front of everyone to see as well. We are now being joined by UTurn's Strategic Partnership Development Manager, Rowen Ravera, and two of the program's very proud graduates, Zulfah and Ephraim. Ephraim, guys, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. There's so much I want to talk to all of you about because this is such an interesting space. Most importantly, because of the message, the stigma that we are trying to turn around with a massive UTurn, and the sense of hope that you are wanting to offer people that are probably going through their darkest time. So maybe I must start with you, Rowen, and ask why you do what you do and what the function of UTurn actually is.
So
I know it's probably quite a broad question.
Deep question. It is a deep question. But the reason I do what I do is because I have seen incredible transformations in people. So every day I get to the office and I see people who have come from probably one of the most challenging situations they can face, and they have lifted themselves up out of that situation and are turning their lives around. It is deeply motivating for me, and it's happening through UTurn. UTurn is an organization that is equipping people with the skills to overcome homelessness. So what happens, I think, is that, and I speak for myself here too, before I worked for UTurn, you often see people in really desperate situations on the street, and all you see is the grime of the moment. You're not looking beyond that and seeing the enormous potential that's contained inside the person. And so UTurn is taking people from point A in very difficult situations and really journeys with them through basic needs relief, then on into a rehabilitation, drug and alcohol rehabilitation program, and from there into what's called the Life Change program. And that's a work opportunity where people work with UTurn for roughly on average about 18 months. And it's ongoing skills development, relapse prevention, and just really helping people find their feet and their resilience again. And from there, they graduate off into the open labour market. So people fly off into jobs. We've got a guy who is doing his articles at a law firm. We've got people who are, in sales consultant positions and as technicians, studying to become technicians in air conditioning and refrigeration companies. We've got people who are managers of Mug and Beans. People all over the show doing amazing things with their lives.
Zulfah, I'm gonna chat to you because. In my time working with people who are turning their lives around, and I say turning because it doesn't matter how much help you get, you've still got to ultimately do that for yourself. It's either the last day of your way down or the first day of your way up. How dark did those days get? You grappled with addiction, and that, I'm guessing, was at the heart very much of your situation. How did it feel to be at the lowest point? Because I'm sure there are people that can relate to you right now.
You know, when you come to that point, it's like your self-esteem is down. You feel like nothing. You start to believe what people say of you, that you're nothing. You cannot come right. You will never come right, And asking people for help it was tough. It was really tough, because your family have pushed you away. They don't want anything to do with you. Drug addiction and homelessness, there's a stigma. Nobody wants to deal with you, so it's really hard. But, just was this one day, someone came past and gave me a UTurn voucher. And I followed the path,
How difficult was it to break that cycle?
At first it was very hard. It would be back and forth. I would do it for what I want of it. No, they're going to give me this, they're going to give me that. But at the end of the day, when you're in the program, your shift changes because people tell you you're worth something, you can do something, you are worthy, you can do this, you can do that. And that slowly started to change me as a person.
it starts to hopefully sink in. How good does it feel when someone's describing you now compared to how you would have described yourself a few years ago when you were at your darkest moment, Ephraim? How does it feel now to be where you are compared to where you were?
Well, it feels unbelievable. I remember people used to say that I would never amount to anything in my life. I would never achieve anything. And I pushed the trolley for 12 years of my life. I was a drug addict for 9 years of my life. And today people don't call me what they used to call me back in the day. Now they look up to me. Some people would even call me pastor, and I'm not a pastor. I don't take that title.
Preach it, brother.
And the only thing is, for me, it's huge because you can inspire others. You can be an inspiration to others. Because I mean, drug addiction and homelessness goes together.
Yeah.
And for me, because I'm one of the leaders at our drug support group that we started at our church, and to invest in others like UTurn has invested in myself and a lot of other people. And it's just amazing to achieve things. So I set goals for myself. If I achieved one goal, I go for the other goal. I set bigger goals. I mean, I used to push a trolley. The only trolley I push now is a grocery trolley at the end of the month, which for me it's major. And I even got to do my driver's license at UTurn, something I thought that I would never have. It might seem small to someone else, but that's just a stepping stone for more goals. And for me, the major change is I can honestly say that I've got a matric certificate now, because I remember I dropped out of school to help my parents because things wasn't easy at home. But through UTurn and through the support of other organizations that came alongside, and when we graduated after doing our NCAF level 4, for me that was major. I had tears in my eyes. I couldn't believe it. So for me that is quite big.
It's a transformation, guys. Thank you so much for sharing what you're doing, for feeling the weight of the responsibility of helping others do what you've been able to achieve through this. I hope every day continues to bring this validation. I'm going to think of you now when I'm pushing my trolley, brother. That is absolutely awesome. But we have all, in some way or another, tasted that darkness, been able to, I think, have felt that hopelessness. And it's an easy thing for us to look at someone else and point a finger, but when you've experienced that and you know, it's something very, very powerful to have actually turned that around. And as much as it comes with other people's help, it really is based on what you've been able to do for yourself. So thank you so much for coming on to the show to drive that message home with others. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Spend this World Homeless Day giving back and being involved in responsibly and, I think, effectively helping the people who live on our streets find the best in themselves. And you can find out a little bit more about this incredible organization, the work that is being done by UTurn, by visiting homeless.org.za.